Here in Kyle's backyard, just got this new hot tub. You know what it's full of?
Clean water. Here in Toronto, we're very lucky to have access to clean water. Many countries don't have access to clean water like we do because of the many different ways that garbage and other disgusting substances have access to their water supply.
In this video, we will be specifically talking about industrial pollution and how it is a leading factor in worldwide pollution.
The thing about industries is that they're not decreasing the amount of pollution like they need to. They're increasing it in order to make more products and then to make more money. How selfish does that sound?
Super selfish!
They're wrecking the environment, the whole world in future because of global warming, and they're wrecking animals' lives and humans' lives across the world.
Let's take a look at the definition of industrial pollution.
Industrial pollution is the contamination of the environment by businesses, particularly plants and factories, that dump waste products into the air and water. Industrial waste is one of the largest contributors to the global pollution problem and endangering people and the environment.
There are many causes of industrial pollution. We don't want to bore you, so we will stick to the more important causes that need to be recognized.
Lack of policies.
First of all, there's a major lack of policies to control the limits of industrial pollution. Therefore, companies have zero limitations stopping them from dumping disgusting things or substances wherever they choose. They can also pollute the air with their oh so many toxic fumes that come out of their factories.
Old and outdated technology.
Secondly, technology is improving so quickly nowadays. However, industries are still using outdated technology. The problem with this is that the old and outdated technology produces a very high amount of waste, especially when they're being used to make high-end products.
The large number of small-scale industries.
Another big cause of industrial pollution is the presence of a large number of smaller-scale industries. Many smaller-scale industries can't depend on the government enough to give them grants to run their business. These companies will then be ignored and won't have to care about any environmental regulations, allowing them to dispose of their waste however they choose, which will most likely not be in a great way.
Inefficient waste disposal.
A huge factor contributing to industrial pollution is inefficient waste disposal. Water and soil pollution and contamination are mainly caused by improper waste disposal. This will not only affect the water and soil, but the health of plants, animals, and us.
Leaking of resources from our natural world.
One cause of industrial pollution that is not very recognized, but will turn out to be very detrimental to our environment, is the leaking of resources from our natural world. Industries require a very large amount of raw material to make their products. Extracting these minerals can cause soil pollution when spilled on Earth. Also, leaks from different vessels in the ocean can cause oil spills, which will then be harmful to many animals in the ocean.
As you can see, there are many different causes contributing towards industrial pollution, and these weren't even all the causes. These causes of industrial pollution affect the world in many, many ways. Here are some images of what industrial pollution is doing to our wonderful world.
Look at this disgusting fluid that industries are putting back into the Earth's water supply. You can't even call this water, because the last time I checked, water wasn't supposed to be black. Look at this oil spill that happened in India. I guarantee you that for longer than 20 years, nobody will be using this land because of how destroyed it is by these toxic chemicals. Dead croc floats. Locals blame industrial pollution. Well, how could you not blame industrial pollution? Like, look at the color of the water and the color of the crocodile. They're totally discolored. Look at the toxic fumes that these factories are pumping out into the Earth's atmosphere. That can't be good. And you guys are wondering why in China people are always wearing masks. This is why.
Now we will start on informing you of the effects that these causes have on our world.
Industrial water pollution.
Let's start off with one of the more important effects on industrial pollution, water pollution. Many industries require heaping amounts of water to do their work. This water will then come in contact with heavy metals, chemicals, radioactive waste, or even organic sludge. After this happens, the water will no longer be needed and then will be dumped back into the rivers, lakes, and streams, which will then seriously impact the health of our ecosystem.
Soil pollution. Comes soil pollution. Not as large of a concern as water pollution, but it still matters. Soil pollution is destroying agriculture and local vegetation. This is also causing constant health issues with many people that come in contact with the soil often.
Air pollution.
Another very important effect that needs to be recognized is air pollution. Air pollution has increased various illnesses throughout the world. With many more small, medium, and large-scale industries being made, air pollution is increasing all the time.
Wildlife extinction. And another effect that needs to be looked into is wildlife extinction. The world's wildlife is getting affected very severely by industrial pollution. Their habitats are being destroyed, animals are becoming extinct, and it's becoming harder for environments to recover from many disasters. Many industrial disasters like oil spills, fires, leaks of radioactive material are harder to clean up because they have a higher impact within a shorter period of time.
Global warming.
Finally, the last but probably most important effect of industrial pollution is global warming. This will become very dangerous in the future as it is increasing rapidly along with the growth of industries, which means that it will increase even faster each year. Smoke and greenhouse gases are always being released into the air with no concern. Global warming is causing extinction to animals that live up north in colder climates. More floods, more tsunamis, and more hurricanes. These are just some of the causes of global warming.
Each country contributes their fair share of industrial pollution each year, but some countries contribute a bit more than others, to the point where it's not very good anymore. Take a guess on which country you think contributes the most to industrial pollution each year. I'll give you a minute. Well, the United States is the greatest source of industrial pollution. They're responsible for more than half of the world's water pollution each year. And if you chose China, they're right up there with them. They're at the top of the leaderboard along with the United States. About 370,000 factories in the United States use very large quantities of fresh water to wash away their wastes. Then they put this already used fresh water back into the rivers or lakes where they got it from.
In 1996, the U.S. Environment Protection Agency surveyed the nation's lakes, rivers, and estuaries. They found out that about 40% of the nation's water was too polluted to be used as house or tap water. What I'm saying here is that there is one main nation that needs to stop now or soon. The government needs to guide these industries to make sure they don't overdo it, which they pretty much already have. Because if the industries keep growing and keep polluting, then we will have a serious problem that will be very difficult to stop.
Industrial pollution is a massive problem to our society and our world. Thank God there are people that are trying to stop and reduce this problem before it gets too late. How are they doing this, you may ask? Because it is a very large problem that is very hard to stop. Well, they're creating global environmental pacts with other companies or countries across the world. A global environmental pact is an agreement or a deal between companies and or countries to promise to reduce the amount of pollution that they produce in a certain amount of years.
One of the bigger and somewhat recent examples of Global Environment Pact was the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement was within the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It mainly dealt with greenhouse gases emissions. The adaptation and financing will start in the year 2020. This agreement was negotiated between 195 countries in Paris. It has been open for signature since the 22nd of April 2016, and as of March 2017, 194 members of the UNFCCC have signed this treaty. This shows that at least some people are making an effort to stop these polluting products.
So there you have it. Industries across the globe, if you're watching, you know what to do to help our world. Classmates, you guys are in the next generation, so please don't screw up the earth for the next generation. The thing is, right when we think we're getting better at keeping the environment clean, which we're not really, something horrible happens. Donald Trump lifts the ban on coal mines in the US. Just like that. Right when you think that things are getting better for environment, they're not at all.